So then people get bitter and they want to blame God and they want to blame the Christians, when in reality it is people who don't know anything about God telling you that God hates you. What's up, geeks? It's your guy Q here, aka JGTV, and we are back with another one, guys. And today we are doing a breakout for God over culture. Yes, there is a topic that I have to talk about, and I did not forget about this topic. It was kind of a save the best for last type of thing for me. So we are going to be talking about God over culture and the LGBTQIA plus community, right? So we're not really going to go too much over what culture says about the community. We kind of know already, right? The stigmas, the stereotypes, the horrible name calling, right? All of the nasty, bigotry, bad stuff that goes on, right? But we are going to talk about, how does Jesus feel about sinners, right? Because we can't take one sin and put it on top of every sin when Christ has brought all sin to an even playing field, right? Let's get right into it. So the first way we're going to start this God over culture off with the LGBTQIA plus community is, since we want to take one particular sin and society seems to want to put it at the very top of the list, or whoever list it offends most, right? Because that's how this works. If it's something that offends you, it just cannot go, right? Like God's not going to stand for that. You're definitely going to hell, right? So here's how we're going to start off this with all sin in general, right? Guess what? Jesus is a friend of sinners. I know that this is probably going to mess with some of you guys' theology, but this is biblical. This is actually in the Bible. And this is something that he himself said. I want you guys to understand that Jesus is a friend of sinners. So Jesus does not hate sinners. That's something that we have completely backwards. So let's take a look at Matthew chapter 9, and we're going to be reading in verse 11. That's where I'm going to start at. So I want you guys to see exactly what Jesus says here. When those known as the Pharisees saw what was happening, they were indignant and they kept asking Jesus' disciples, "Why would your master dine with such lowlifes?" When Jesus overheard this, he spoke up and said, "Healthy people don't need to see a doctor, but the sick will go for treatment." Then he added, "Now you should go and study the meaning of the verse. I want you to show mercy, not just offer me a sacrifice. For I have come to invite the outcasts of society and sinners, not those who think they are already on the right path." So Jesus makes it clear right here about himself, who he's for, right? He's like, I'm for the outcasts, and I'm actually for the sinners. The people who think they're on the right path and they're so righteous with me and they got it all figured out. He's like, yeah, I'm actually not here for them. I'm actually here for the sinners. I'm here for the people who are struggling with things and they are actually seeking forgiveness wholeheartedly, right? But society will tell them that they're not. So then people get bitter and they want to blame God and they want to blame the Christians, when in reality it is people who don't know anything about God telling you that God hates you. So this is where we kind of need to rectify this. We need to fix this verbiage here, right? Because Jesus does not hate sinners, and sinners are not Jesus' enemy, and he makes this clear here. So for some more Bible, we're going to go over to Luke chapter 7, and I'm going to be reading verses 34 to 35. So I want you guys to check out exactly how Jesus is putting this out there, right? He's saying, "Yet when the Son of Man came feasting and drinking, you said, 'Look at this man. He is nothing but a glutton and a drunkard. He spends all his time with tax collectors and other notorious sinners. Nevertheless, the wisdom of God will be proven true by the expressions of godliness in everyone who follows me." Okay, so right here, Jesus is saying something specific. He says, Jesus Christ himself says, "Nevertheless, the wisdom of God will be proven true by the expressions of godliness in everyone who follows me." The expressions of godliness, right? We know there are 9 fruits of the Spirit, and this is what I'm talking about. It's great if a person can come to somebody and they can say, "Hey, you know what? I'm living in God's will because I'm living a heterosexual lifestyle." That's awesome. Are you kind? Are you patient? Is there any ounce of faithfulness or joy in your life or in your body? That's the whole point here, because we're taking people and we're judging them by something that we can see and something that we ourselves hate. Like, let's just be honest, because you wouldn't be badgering people and you wouldn't be picking on people and telling people they're going to hell and God hates them if it wasn't a sin that in fact offended you. Now, some people are going to come at me righteously, right, and not have your way because the comments will be off. But some people are going to come at me righteously and they're going to say, "No, like, if you love God, you should hate sin." Yes, you should hate sin. I hate sin, yet I'm still a sinner. You're still a sinner. Everyone is a sinner. So I don't know where we're getting this from, where it's like, yeah, everyone is a sinner, but the gays, they've taken it too far, and they're saying there's 64 genders and they all need to burn in hell. And that's not Jesus Christ. So I don't really care how much religion or tradition you have figured out, or how many times you go to a mosque or a church service in 1 week. If you have not first had a conversation, and this will come up again towards the end of this video because I'm going to do 2 parts of this, so you guys just buckle up. The second part's coming right behind this. But if you have not already spoken to a person of the LGBTQIA plus community from a position of compassion and love first, then whatever interaction you have with them should not be leading with judgment. You're just wrong. Like, you're just wrong if you call yourself a Christian and you're moving in this manner. Now, I understand that people are going to say, "Well, what are you saying, and are you condoning?" I'm not condoning anything, and what I am saying is that you can't take one sin that just irks your soul and say that that's the sin that people are going to hell for. Like, you can't say you love Jesus and still be gay, but you can say you love Jesus and still struggle with porn. Like, you can say you love Jesus and have lustful thoughts about another person and you're married. This is what I'm saying, where it's like we can't take sin and like put it up here based on what offends us and what bothers us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please share this video, guys, with someone who has any questions about what Jesus might think about their filthy lifestyle, according to what society says, according to what some of you have probably said to someone in the community. So share this video, guys. The next video is coming right behind this one. So what I always say, love yourselves, love one another, but most of all, love God. Peace.